Fever's Sophie Cunningham reveals why she got fined $1,500 for first podcast episode. Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham revealed on the latest episode of the Show Me Something podcast that the WNBA fined her $1,500 following comments she made during the show's debut last week. "We were talking about like our first week what people had to say. Well, the WNBA fined me," Cunningham said. "Dude, they fined me $1,500. I'm like, why, this is just the beginning. It's like you're kidding." Cunningham co-hosts the podcast with West Wilson. When Wilson asked how the fining process works, Cunningham described how she was informed. "What happens is they email our GM and she pulls me aside and she goes, 'Come here, Soph, I have to talk to you,'" Cunningham said. "And this is in front of everybody, and I was like, what did I do now?" She just smiles and goes, "Hey, they're gonna fine you again." I was like, I even told them, I even credit them that their job was hard. I did say that, and I said I would not be good at it. I did say that, like, look at the whole picture, what are we doing? Fever's Sophie Cunningham fined for officiating comments on podcast and TikTok. The fine reportedly stemmed from remarks Cunningham made in the podcast's first episode, which aired last Friday. She openly criticized WNBA officiating during the discussion. "I'm not saying that your job is easy," Cunningham said. "But when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're just so inconsistent," she continued. "Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're going to be fouling the ST out of me, cool. But let me do it to you. And I think that's players across the league, and like new fans across the country. Like, everyone's like, what is going on with refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you fining me $500 is not going to do ST." The WNBA had already fined Cunningham $500 more than 2 weeks ago for similar remarks made on TikTok criticizing officiating. She acknowledged the penalty on her X page, expressing frustration over what she views as misplaced priorities within the league. "I got fined $500 for this TikTok IDK. Why, this is funny to em, like, okay, you got it, bud. 'Cause there are no more important things to be worried about with our league right now," Cunningham wrote. Cunningham, 28, is in her 7th WNBA season and first with the Fever. Through 25 games, she is averaging 8.0 points, 3.8 rebounds, and a steal per game while shooting 46.7% from the field and 41.9% from beyond the arc. She has started in 8 games. The Fever, 17-13, are coming off a 100-91 loss to the Los Angeles Sparks. They will wrap up their 4-game road trip Thursday night against the Phoenix Mercury, 18-11, who are on a 2-game win streak. Tip-off is set for 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Prime Video. Sex toy tossed on WNBA court near Fever's Sophie Cunningham. A sex toy landed near Indiana Fever player Sophie Cunningham after it was thrown from the stands during a game against the Los Angeles Sparks on Tuesday. The incident occurred in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Cunningham has been vocal on social media about the issue, urging fans against throwing things at players. Sparks guard Kelsey Plum eventually kicked the toy into the stands. "I think it's ridiculous, it's dumb, it's stupid," Sparks coach Lynn Roberts said after the game. "It's also dangerous and players' safety is number one, respecting the game, all those things. I think it's really stupid." Tuesday's incident was the 3rd time in a week that a sex toy was thrown on the court during a WNBA game. The first incident occurred July 29 during a game between the Atlanta Dream and the Golden State Valkyries in Georgia. A 23-year-old man was later arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, public indecency, indecent exposure, and criminal trespass. On Friday, during the Valkyries game against the Chicago Sky, a sex toy was thrown onto the court at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. "The safety and well-being of everyone in our arenas is a top priority for our league," the WNBA said in a statement. "Objects of any kind thrown onto the court or in the seating area can pose a safety risk for players, game officials, and fans. In line with WNBA arena security standards, any fan who intentionally throws an object onto the court will be immediately ejected and face a minimum 1-year ban in addition to being subject to arrest and prosecution by local authorities."